Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending, but first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top secret, 36 of those chains secret, and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was permitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
Well, first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence, a
Nothing was
tremendous
marked.
amount, a
Nothing was
tremendous
marked
amount.
classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
my gosh.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains
It was a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are top
It wasn't
secret.
the best choice.
36 of those chains
I said
secret,
it was a mistake.
and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains
I made a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are
It
top
was not a
secret.
good choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Today is September 18th, 2018. There's two 18s. The 9 and 2 18s, and it's a Tuesday. What could possibly be going on today?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's my fucking birthday. Ah! Anyways, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. That was literally the only footage, sound of a birthday song I could find out there that was kind of usable. I'm not sure if you knew this, but the Happy Birthday song was is owned by Sony, and everyone else has some sort of has already bought that song. So anyways, we're back. And yeah, I'm sorry if I feel like a little rusty. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in days. In fact, I don't think I have. Friday morning was the last time I did anything, and then I was pretty much off. All of these days. It's been like 4 days now, because yesterday kind of didn't count. Even Sunday kind of didn't even count. But I can honestly say that it's been a really great weekend, great days. Everything came out awesome. The video that I was helping make, for my friend, came out really good. We did all the final edits. Yesterday we went out to dinner. We had a great freaking time. Early birthday gift, early birthday period. Great times. I wake up today, had my coffee, had answering all these phone calls, texts from you guys, from family, from everyone. Fucking awesome, fucking amazing. Stiggs, out there sent me a gift. It was great. He sent me a giant turd in the mail, as usual. Oh wait, that's not even a birthday gift. I think that's usually what he just sends. But anyways, regardless, all of you guys know who you are, and thanks for all the gifts, all the love, all the thank yous, all the everything, all the little chats, and the ones to come. I still got more to answer, and so on and so forth. I just had to, at least start off with some sort of episode today. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, you know, actually, I was scouring the news. You know, even though I haven't been online in the last like several days, I have been kind of like a little bit like, you know, looking over the news. And again today, you know, because I wanted to talk about something. You know, there is a lot of stuff that's going on, like a lot of fucking stuff going on. But I think the most important thing that we should be talking about, literally something that, you know, we've been talking about for a long time, not just on this channel but other channels, is literally the economic downturn, you know, like the correction that we've been talking about for a very long time, so on and so forth. So you know, we could just go through Zero Hedge right now and you know, just look at just like the top stories, and then not just Zero Hedge, you know, there's a bunch of other websites out there. But you know, the reality is that, you know, most people are not talking about these things, but you know, all the stock markets of each individual country around the world, they're each individually tanking, falling. We could just go to like China alone. You know, China's like a major indicator in, you know, the whole fucking world economy at the moment. And you know, China's like stock market has fallen about 25%, and I want to say less than a week. We already know there's a lot of economic turmoil everywhere, especially in places like Argentina, Iran. Things are settling in Venezuela. Things are settling in a few places here and there, but in other places, they're getting worse. And we've talked about this. I've told you guys, you know what I mean? Once this whole fucking thing starts going, you know, there's going to be a few countries out there that are going to be doing great, you know, aka the ones that have already had the economic turmoil, you know what I mean? So that's why, you know, I wanted to go to fucking Venezuela before I came to Mexico. Thank God that I came to Mexico, though, because Mexico was going to be one of the places that I really do think are going to be okay, and so on and so forth. You know, they're going to benefit from this economic downturn, while other countries are not. A lot of countries around the world are going to suffer because they are under the dollar, and they're just, you know, depending on how tied into the dollar they are, and depending on many factors, you know, will just depend on how rough it's going to be for them. Some countries it's not going to be so rough. Some countries it's already rough, it's going to get rougher. Some countries it's really rough, it's going to get better, and so on and so forth. Okay, but you know, we can just talk about the news. You know, when it comes to like the economic news, and you know, one of the things that I read right now, you know, on Zero Hedge, which I thought was pretty telling, was that the yield curve has finally inverted. And that's like a major, you know, red alert sign. And that happened, you know, today. You know, again, when we're talking about other world markets, that's happening. Also, I want to show you guys this video again right here. Because I know a lot of people are not talking about this, but the reality is that, you know, that's also happening. You know, all of these things are happening. You know, we're looking at Trump in the United States and how they're dealing with the economy, and what does Trump want to do? What does he want to do? It's not what he wants to do, it's what he's doing. What they're doing is that they're printing into oblivion. They're really bringing and trying to, you know, exacerbate not just the printing, but the failure, you know, the failure of our economy. And you know, the more we, you know, talk about this, you know, and like study this, you know, I'm starting to really realize, and we've been talking about this for weeks already, you know, that the dollar is going to take a major hit. There's going to be a major shake up, you know what I mean, when it comes to the world economy within the next couple months. But it's not going to be the end all be all that we have been envisioning for a very long time now. It's just not. It's just not. There's too many factors in play, and that would be too much of a drastic change, you know, for it to happen like that. It's just not going to happen. There's just too many things that are not in place yet. Even though the stars are aligning and we are heading in that direction, it's going to be a little bit longer, just a little longer, before the actual dollar tanks and falls and disappears. That's just the reality of it, you know. Like when I've already said this, you know, I've already said this before, but like a country like China, you know, hold on one second, let me turn this off real quick. Got the refrigerator running. I don't want it to run away on me, but no, yeah, I had to unplug the refrigerator because otherwise we're gonna have a little long, high-pitched sound coming throughout the whole video.
Hey, is your refrigerator running?
Yes, it is. Are your doors unlocked?
What? Why? I don't know, they all kind of look the same.
What do you mean they all look the same?
But, you know, like I was saying, you know, China is not in a hurry to become the world reserve currency. They don't want to be the world reserve currency at the moment. If they happen to be the world reserve currency and that happens to fall on them, sure, they'll take it. They're not going to complain. They're not anything. But, you know, the real reality of this whole situation is the fact that, you know, we got to look at, you know, just China and the U.S. right now. You know, we're going to look at a bunch of other countries, but just China and the U.S. right now, you know, first of all, the U.S. dollar is a reserve currency. If it were to fall, we would need another world reserve currency. Again, who is going to step up to the plate? If China is the only one that would be the yuan, the Chinese yuan, would be the only thing that would be able to replace the dollar as a world reserve currency, and China doesn't want to be the world reserve currency, then is the dollar going away? No, it's not. It can't go away. It just can't. There's too many things going on. And, you know, whether it's, you know, the economic situation in Argentina, whether it's what's going on in Venezuela, whether it's what's going on in Africa right now, you know, with you know, the oil and the deals, you know, that we're, you know, spreading, whether what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in the rest of the world, you know, there's just no way that the dollar is going to be dying anytime soon. Now, again, I've talked about the euro, and I've talked about how the euro is probably not going to exist within 6 months to a year. You know, literally by this time next year, you know, we would have already been in the death of the euro long time already. And I really do think that when this economic downturn falls, that the euro is going to be what's going to fall. Every single country that's in the European Union is going to have their own currency again. You know, again, Greece is going to have their own money. France is going to have their franc. Germany is going to have, you know, their, you know, whatever the fuck, you know, money again, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? The pound, you know, in England, and so on and so forth. And everyone's really going to get separated and go back to their own sovereignty. The U.S. and the dollar will remain king, because now that the euro isn't around, you know, people are going to need, again, you know, even more of a need for the dollar. On top of that, you know, it doesn't seem like the dollar's, you know, it still has a long ass way to go before it reaches hyperinflation. What's going to happen is that, again, we've already talked about the announcements that they have made, in which they're going to, you know, have QE 16 happening in January of 2019. So in January, or, you know, early 2019, they're already, you know, going to be bailing out the banks. The banks don't need to be bailed out yet, but they already know that they are going to be needing to get bailed out. And so, you know, when there's so much writing on the wall, you know, on behalf of our, you know, our government, our president, our everything, that is like literally telling us, they are literally telling us, everyone, that the economy is not going to be falling. I mean, the economy is going to be falling, but the dollar's not going to be falling anytime soon. That says a lot. And what I think is going to happen is that, yeah, we're going to be taking a major hit. The U.S. and the dollar is going to take a major hit within the next couple months, but it's not going to disappear. In fact, the fact that like a lot of countries are getting rid of their dollars, more dollars are coming in, and I really do think that Trump and the people behind the government at the moment, you know, they're going to do everything humanly possible in order to keep propping this up. So they're probably going to be raising the minimum wage. They're going to be using money to, you know, build infrastructure, and you know, helicopter money. You know, that you're already seeing, like in places like Chicago and other places, like in California and other places around the country, you know, where, you know, the supplemental income is coming in. What is it? The universal basic income, and so on and so forth. So.
Find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself in another part of the world, and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, and you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you know, you may say to yourself, well, how am I right? Am I wrong? And you may say to yourself, my God, what have I done? Same as it ever was. 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 Same as it ever was.
You know, as much as we want the Federal Reserve to die, as much as we want, you know, all of these things to happen, I don't think that they're going to happen anytime soon. Now, let's talk a little positive, you know, positively about the crypto space and our space. I really do think that for the time being, cryptos might still, you know, they're just going to be going sideways. They're going to be treading water, you know, for the time being. But, you know, once the economy tanks and everything starts going, it gets back to fair value, that is when we're going to see, you know, Bitcoin, Litecoin, you know, all the major coinage, you know, Monero, you name it, go back to the fucking moon. And then we're going to be seeing a lot of other coins and tokens and projects going to the moon. We just are. So believe it or not, things like Ripple, you know, they are, because they're going to be, you know, that's the vehicle that the banks are using to keep everything moving. You know, a lot of the cryptocurrencies, you know, so things like Dash, Monero, you know, believe it or not, things like Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, you know, Doge, you know, they're going to go to the fucking moon because they're going to be needed everywhere. Then real projects are going to start, you know, getting steam under them, you know, no pun intended, but literally, and we're seeing it right now. I've been talking about this for the longest fucking time, in which, you know, Ethereum was going to fucking fall to the ground. All the projects were going to leave Ethereum. Everyone's going to cash out of Ethereum and then use all that in order to start building on EOS, building on another platform, building on again another blockchain, creating their own blockchain, and so on and so forth, etc., etc., etc. Previous videos, you know, a comment that was just pretty much like, hey, you know, Ethereum is God, EOS is blah, blah, blah. Look, man, at the end of the day, it's again, just comes down to this, near zero marginal cost, okay? Right now, Ethereum is expensive, and it's only gonna be more expensive. And even if it's not more expensive, even if it's the same cost, it's expensive, period. EOS is not. Okay, EOS is just gonna have no cost, period, in the story. From what I understand, maybe a little, but regardless, in comparison from one to the other, you can't even. All right, so that's that. But again, to just, you know, reiterate on near zero marginal cost and why it's so important, and especially in this space, is that a lot of these coins, a lot of these things, what they're representing, what they're bringing to the game, is that they're literally, you know, cutting that cost, you know, away. So again, why Bitcoin was really great at first was because, you know, just the cost of sending money was nothing. But now it's $50 a transaction. It's a lot. So someone's obviously going to take over. Sure, Bitcoin Cash and there's others, you know, like Dash might be, you know, kind of taking over at the moment. But again, it's all about, you know, the demand and the consumerism and that whole thing. So, you know, and again, it's all about who brings out the product first, who brings out the best product, who brings out the cheapest product. And that's it. And that's just the way, you know, things are moving. We're watching it. We're seeing it with our own eyes. And so once the economy, you know, tanks and money starts to dry up, you know, investors dry up, you know, VCs, you know, all of this shit starts drying up. That's when we really start seeing business, you know, move. You know, that's when business starts coming in, and then that's when that starts, you know, morphing. Let me explain what that means. So right now, you know, there's just money coming into the system, you know, believe it or not, money coming into the crypto world, you know, but once there's no more money flowing into the crypto world, the only thing that's going to maintain these projects moving upwards and forward is going to be the business behind it, meaning like, can they make a profit? Is it a viable product, business, you know, service? You know, is it going to provide, you know, something for the future? You know, just these are all the things, you know, that are going to start mattering, okay? And then, you know, once, you know, people, you know, there's still going to be investors, there's still going to be people putting money in, there's still going to be all that shit in, but it's just going to be so much less of it. And now, in order, you know, from that moment on, in order for a project to get funded, in order for any kind of anything to really go back to like how it was like over a year ago with the investments, you know, they're going to have to really provide a really solid white paper, a really solid project, and so on and so forth. And in fact, a lot of these projects and entities, you know, they're just going to have to do it on their own and make shit happen on their own without investors or very, very minimal investors, you know. And this is the way it's going to be. That's the way it's always been. You know what I mean? Like, since always, you know what I mean? Like, forever, you know what I mean? Every time you know, a lot of businesses that are around today that are like the monster businesses, they either started right before an economic downturn, started during an economic downturn, but most importantly, survived an economic downturn. And if a business can survive, you know, a correction to fair value, an economic downturn, and so on and so forth, as the economy starts recovering and getting better, you know, these are the ones that are just the OGs and the ones that are sustained and sustainable, and every other business that comes into play competing with them is always trying to play catch up. And unless the business is up front makes some fucked up decision, for the most part, they almost never caught. And it's just simply because they made it during the worst of times. So during the best of times, it's, you know, it's just easy peasy. And when the worst of times comes again, they're prepared. They already went through it one time. At the most vulnerable, which is when a business is starting. So, like I said, you know, right now, there's a lot of people out there, like, you know, with Gary Vee is talking about this a lot more lately, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people out there that are gonna fucking be, you know, like, for lack of a better word, starving, you know? They're gonna be, you know, right now they're riding this wave and, you know, working for, you know, these companies or corporations or entities that have a lot of money, a lot of flow, a lot of everything, just like in the .com era. And before you know it, that shit's gonna disappear, and then what? You know what I mean? So that's what I think is gonna happen. Also, I think that, you know, the US is gonna be seeing a little bit of a mini boom as soon as everything tanks. I mean, it just is, because it's just like the natural progression of things, you know, especially with all these dollars coming in, the printing of more dollars, you know, and so on and so forth. You know, we're going to be seeing a major influx of dollars within the system. And hopefully our president, hopefully our system is smart enough to continue moving forward with that. So, hold on. And by continuing to move forward with that, all it's going to be doing is that it's going to, you know, instead of, you know, making hyperinflation your enemy, the United States would actually have the ability to make inflation your friend for the short time. In the long term, it's going to be bad, but in the short term, it could be very good. And it's only because the US dollar is the world reserve currency. And that's really what it is, you know? So there's still a lot, you know what I mean? There's still a lot for us to traverse. Still a lot of work to be done. Also, even, look guys, I don't know if you guys know this already, but I think a lot of you guys do know this already. You know, I was one of the guys that voted for the Trump man. I voted for him, you know, for the obvious reasons why a lot of people voted for him. You know, again, not because I thought he was the greatest guy in the world, but no, really just because, you know, either A, he was going to fix everything, or B, he was just going to fucking destroy everything. I was more on the latter, okay?
Anything you can do, I do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm clever female. I can send an email.
I'm a smart guy. Gonna build the wall wide. I can say pretty much anything.
Can you tell it why?
No.
Neither can I.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. These vicious claims about me are totally and absolutely false. I can't stand it. I don't stand it. I'm a set of straightness. Water, hate. I can't stand bragging when I'm in here. Cause your crystal ball ain't so crystal clear. So while you sit back and wonder why, I got a skin dawn at my side. Oh my God, it's a mirage. I'm telling you all it's a push.
And it didn't really matter because I knew I'm a hard worker. I have that kind of mentality, and I understand that, you know, in worst case scenario, if we gotta fucking destroy everything and rebuild everything, then that's totally fine. Just get to work, you know, roll up your sleeves and let's do it. So, you know, to me, that was totally fine, you know, but, you know, and by the way, that's what it seems like this guy could be doing, you know, even though he is going back and forth, and I have, you know, I was praising him at first, the first time, you know, the first bit of time that he was in office, I was really praising him and praising a lot of the things he was doing. Not everything, but a bunch of the things he was doing. And then as time has gone on, I have been praising him less and less. And in fact, I've been very critical of him. And in fact, I have become so afraid of my own country that's why I'm living out here in Mexico. You know, honestly, more. That's the real excuse as to why I'm here, because I'm just, you know, I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to be, you know.
I need to know why you busted my door in, where the warrant is, first of all, because you need I don't care what kind of call you got outside from anybody walking around outside, you need a warrant to bust my door in. I just had 4 cops with AR-15s on my front door and busted it down because somebody called them, said a Hispanic male had an AK-47 or whatever, and that's all the information you need to bust my door down?
Okay. Are you ready for me to answer?
No, that's the question.
Okay.
Because I know you need more than I'm well versed in this.
Okay.
I've done time. I'm well versed in this. You have no right. I don't care who calls you. I don't care who calls you. You have no right to bust my door down without a warrant. Even if I did have an AK-47 in here, I am fully within my rights to own an AK-47 as long as it's not an automatic firing weapon. End of story. I'm a felon. You guys didn't know that when AR-15s were drawn at my front door.
Would you like an answer? I'm here to talk with you.
Come on.
Okay. Yes. Under normal circumstances, it does require a warrant. Under exigent circumstances, a warrant is not needed.
Exigent circumstances requires what? A full description.
Okay.
All you guys had was a Hispanic male. You had no clothes on. You had no kind of clothes. And exigent circumstance, it requires a full description.
Okay. I'm here to discuss with you. I'm not here to get yelling in a yelling match.
Yeah, because nobody just draw down on you with AR-15s. So I understand why you so calm, cool, and collected. It's just my house. I live here. Y'all just busted my door in and drew AR-15s on me for doing nothing more than washing my fucking dog. I just got out of class. Now look at my front door. And you gonna sit here and tell me to calm down? I need names and badge numbers. I don't want to hear nothing else. I need names and badge numbers. That's it.
You already know. I don't even want to talk about that shit right now. But that's the reality of it, you know. So, you know, in recent times, in the recent weeks and months, but not months, in the recent weeks, aka month, you know, give or take, you know, there's been a lot of developments when it comes to him, what he is doing, what our own government is doing, you know, that whole, you know, everything that's just happening within our own government, within, you know, our own country. I'm talking about the USA, and how it's affecting the rest of the world, and how all these things are all coming together. You know, I gotta constantly remind myself, you know, there's a lot of fake news out there, and even our own president and our own people within the inside are probably spreading all kinds of news because they're trying to keep everybody's eyes off the real ball. You know, they're trying to keep everybody focused on all kinds of shit, so that he can continue moving forward with the agenda, whatever the agenda is, you know, and hopefully it is to make America great again. You know, who the fuck knows anymore?
Trump, Kanye, what did you guys discuss in your meeting today?
Just friends, and he's a good man. Doing well. Long time. We've been friends for a long time. Life. We discussed it.
I see him do a couple great things here and there, and then I see him do a couple horrible things, you know, like giving more power to the cops, you know, giving more power to certain entities, giving more power to the Fed, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, I don't like that. You know, I see him do a few good things here or there, but then it's like, I don't know, man, I really gotta like assess the information, you know, assess, you know, how it's all gonna work out for me anyway. This is why I'm here. But to cut to the chase, the reality is that like he has been doing a lot of things, and especially recently. Again, why I played that video yesterday and why I played that video today is something that I found online, and I thought I had to share with you because again, I saw this on the X22 report. Even though I don't listen to a lot of the stuff with Q and a lot of all that stuff, I have been listening to it just a little bit more recently, because not just Q, but I'm listening to all this other shit too, because you know what, a lot of this stuff is actually making sense. And let me explain real quick. I knew this before he got voted in, and I knew this during the time he was, you know, getting elected and everything. But you know, the fact that everything is happening the way it's happening was pretty much how he envisioned, and I envisioned, and a lot of people envisioned how things were going to happen. The thing is that, again, you know, just like the whole thing with North Korea, I'm just going to give you that as an example, you know, where, you know, we were about to go to war, nuclear, and then before you know it, they're shaking hands, they're being best friends, and everything is all, boop, gone. Same thing. I really do think that a lot of that is happening right now too, that, you know, right now it's a lot of all this fake, keep your eye off the ball, look over here, look over there, look whatever, and then as things are happening right now, now he's like, okay, you know, now we're going to do the FISA report thing. Okay, now we're going to have everybody release all their records. Okay, now we're going to whatever. And, you know, even the liberal left that is like by the way, I'm like in the middle right now. I'm not even anything, okay? But, you know, the liberal left that, not all liberal left. I remember, like everyone, look, Jimmy Dore's liberal left, and he is, you know, he talks about the same shit I talk about. But, you know, I'm talking about just the liberal left that is like anti-Trump, anti-world, anti-whatever. We got to get this guy out of office. We got to put in Hillary. We got to whatever. All this stupid insanity, moronic shit. You know, he himself is feeding those trolls in order to keep them continuously, you know what I mean, focus on the stupidest shit so that they themselves entrap themselves, which is what it's happening right now, which I think is fucking hilarious and wow. And the fact that it's continuously happening, and these people, oh my God, it's just crazy. So let me explain what I mean by this. Like, so this is how it works, okay? Right now, all of these records, all of these things that are coming out, being released, blah, 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 that are going to incriminate, I don't know, Trump, and incriminate his, you know, his cabinet, his people, whatever the fuck. The real reality is that when all this shit comes out, I mean, we're all seeing it, right? It's already coming out right now, but we're looking at it and we're like, hold on, I got him for effect. So we're looking at it and we're like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying about Trump, but it doesn't seem like he's doing anything illegal here. Oh, wait a minute, but it says here that the left is doing a lot of illegal shit. Oh, wait, it says that Obama has done like a lot of horrible things. Oh, wait, it says Hillary's done a bunch of, okay, all right, okay, it's pretty good. Oh, wait, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, and so by them pushing so hard to impeach the president, to impeach Trump, to whatever, they are actually, all they're doing is incriminating themselves and releasing all of this information. Again, Trump is releasing it, and releasing all of this information that is all that's going to do is the evidence to fucking put everybody, to make everybody guilty. All the evidence that, all the evidence that all the evidence that is gonna literally show the world all the atrocities that the Clintons have done, that the Bush family has done, that Obama has done, that everyone within, Podesta, everyone within all those circles has done. And so, whatever, and like, and like all this stuff, they might say, it's like, oh yeah, Trump sucked the titty. Oh yeah, Trump, fingered or whatever. But, Hillary did all of these horrible atrocities, and here's the proof. Oh wait, but Clinton did all of these horrible atrocities, and here's the proof. And Podesta funded all this bullshit, and all of these pedophiles, and the church, and the blah 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 blah. And so again.
Oh, you're on. You're in big trouble though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
Trump is just playing like the Trump card, for lack of a better fucking term, and he's just sitting back and like, yeah, go ahead, accuse me of whatever the fuck you're gonna accuse me of. I just want all this information to come out. Knock yourselves out, you motherfuckers. So yeah, that's happening. And again, you watch shows like Jimmy Dore, you watch shows, other shows, other journalists out there that are talking about this, and they're really breaking this shit down, and they themselves cannot even believe what's happening, and it's just insanity. And the fact that even the left is also talking about this shit, and they're saying like, yeah, we caught Trump, looking at a naked titty, blah blah blah. Yeah. So what that Hillary did all these horrible things? So what that Trump, that Obama did all these horrible things? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We caught him with the titty. We caught him with the, and it's like, bro, are you guys that stupid? I feel like doing like that dumb criminal shit. You know what I mean? When you see like the criminals, throwing a brick at a glass and it hits them in the fucking head. That's exactly what's fucking happening right now. And it's just fucking incredible. And it's just the beginning, guys. Now it's the very beginning of all of this shit. Up until now, I really do feel that, just like the X-22 report, just like a lot of people out there that have been super supportive of Trump this whole fucking time, blindly, believe it or not, a lot of this stuff is going to start materializing, start coming true, start coming out, and so on and so forth. And why? Because of the fucking economy. Now we're at that point where everything's going to be coming out at the same time. Look, just like 9/11, how all of these things were brought about, and then 9/11 happened. So again, we're going down that path. It doesn't seem like there's going to be like any kind of 9/11 happening, because this guy Trump or whoever the fuck's in charge there is squashing those things one after the other, and we are not seeing any kind of major false flag. In fact, anytime that they plant a false flag, you see like Putin, like a tattletale. Hey, look over there in Syria. Look, the French, they're filming, and CNN, and blah, blah, blah. And so like now everyone is like, tattletaling on each other. Now the whole fucking thing is just out in the open. Now anytime that, you see a mass shooting, a mass this, whatever, people are like, we already know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And we're only, we're only steps, minutes, seconds away, whatever the fuck you want to call it, from total revolution. Every time that I hear Jimmy Dore, anytime I hear any one of these guys talking now, it's like, oh, revolution. Fuck, Bernie Sanders. Fuck this person. Fuck that person. The other day he had Tulsi Gabbard on, and after listening to Tulsi Gabbard, it's like, damn, she's one of us. And then he asked Jimmy Dore asked Tulsi Gabbard, hey, what do you think about running with Bernie Sanders and da-da-da, and she was just like, I was going to say a word that I shouldn't have said. It's like, Please, are you kidding me? I would not run with that motherfucker. You know, kind of like, you know, she was being very politically correct in her what she was saying, but she was pretty much saying like, come on, Jimmy, are you fucking serious right now? Me run with that fucking guy? Yeah, and just, it's happening, guys. So every single fucking day that is upon us right now, we are just seeing like insanity happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's just amazing news day after day, incredible shit day after day. You know, the whole thing with the church, the whole pedophile thing, the whole thing that's happening within our own government, with the Clintons, with the Obamas, what's happening within everyone, everything falling apart. We're watching Maxine Waters say, oh, we gotta kill Trump. Everything that's happening, it's just like it's a fucking movie. It's like a novella, you know? You guys don't know what a novella is? It's like one of those Spanish soap operas, you know? And it's incredible. It's incredible. And now every time I see any of these things, I'm like, fuck, I want to talk about this. I want to show you guys. I want to, but it's just like there's so much going on, so much everything going on. It's just like it's kind of hard to keep track of, believe it or not. And but it's insane, man. It's a beautiful fucking time to be alive. And you know, our generation is going to be living through another Great Depression type thing. You know, we're going to be living through a revolution that we as humans have not seen for God knows how fucking long, especially here in this country. We haven't seen something like that in God over 100 years, 150 years, you know. And you know, there's just a lot of things, you know, that we are witnessing, we are experiencing that, you know, no human has or will experience, you know, for a while. And it's pretty crazy. It really is. It's really, really awesome too, you know, because we get to be part of something amazing as humanity. And we are leading the charge. We are part of this whole fucking thing. And everyone else is just a sheep. Anyone listening to me right now, anyone participating within the crypto space, or just, you know, going down the rabbit hole, or just waking the fuck up and not being part of the sheeple, listen, man, you guys are all part of the revolution. Remember, the revolution will not be televised, and that's just 100% true. You know, we are recording the revolution. We are, you know, in the shit right now. We are doing this, and it's just the way it is. It's a beautiful time to be alive. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say about this except
I'd like to say a few words about your arrest record. What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Man, you want some too? You better wrap it up. You better wrap that gavel up, B.
You know what? I do have something else to say about this. So, you know, there's already dates being thrown around as to when the economy is going to tank. I saw yesterday someone saying the 29th of November. Was it the 29th of November? No, it wasn't the 29th. Sorry, hold on. It was November, come on, help me out here. November 23rd. So, you know, I already heard yesterday that they are saying November 23rd is going to be the day that everything crashes. Now, what is November 23rd? That's Black Friday, believe it or not. Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and it's going to be during that weekend. Now, I find it a little difficult and hard to kind of like, you know, fathom that we are going to have the economic crash happen on the 23rd, because, look, guys, let's just be smart about this, okay? We already know that Thanksgiving, the markets are closed. 23rd, the markets are closed. 24, 25, markets are closed, and then they open up on 26 again. So really, they're gonna have the crash in between all these days of closed markets, government? No, I don't think so. When I was doing a little research, you know, not too long ago, and I was looking at when the economy tanked during the Great Depression, and it was actually October 18th or